And we are back with Chuck Meyer, Chief Justice candidate for the Ninth Court of Appeals, drafted legal opinions for a Reagan-appointed federal judge now seated in San Antonio. And often these federal judges rewrite vast portions of these opinions. That was not the case for you.
Well, he would edit sometimes, but there have been times in which he would just pass it on and say, well, it's time to get it published. And I felt very glad about those times.
Right.
And I never really argued much with the judge because you know you're not going to win when you argue for the judge that you work with. But we did have a few discussions about particular points in the case, and he would take it to the other judges if he thought that maybe I had a reason for writing it the particular way.
Well, among the esteemed group of men and women running for this post, you are the only one who has actually filed briefs with the Ninth Court of Appeals in your role as Assistant District Attorney in Hardin County.
That's correct.
And so you have a familiarity with the Ninth Court that many may not have.
Yeah, some of my opponents have filed briefs before this court and other courts of appeals, but I'm the only one that's an active prosecutor. And my job with the Hardin County District Attorney's Office is to keep the prisoners in jail for the length of their sentence. I'm not like a typical trial assistant district attorney who puts them in jail to begin with. Mm-hmm. I'm the guy that makes sure that they stay there.
Yeah, I see. You've got a wide range of experience, by the way. Technology attorney, all right, patent attorney, engineer, what all is there? And you worked for the Department of Defense.
My first job out of engineering school was an incredible job for someone who was 22 years old, or 23. I designed computer systems to let the nation's leaders know when we were under nuclear attack.
Yeah.
Now, for good reasons, that system was never tested because we wouldn't be here today probably. Not that I was worried about my design, but certainly you don't want to have nuclear warfare to test what you've done. And that was an amazing experience. So.
That's a reliable man right there that is able to be in a post like that and protect our nation in that way.
Thanks, Kevin.
Chuck has a daughter with a very, very serious disease as well, the juvenile Batten disease. You have life experience as well as your professional experience, a kind of a well-rounded understanding of life. I really believe that that's important for who we choose as Chief Justice of the Ninth Court.
Well, and that's not an experience that I'd wish on anyone, to see your child predecease you, and my daughter will predecease us. She's in the final phase of her life. She was diagnosed when we lived in England at age 8. We were told she wouldn't live past age 16, and we've been blessed to have an additional 8 years. She's 24, and hopefully she'll make it to her 25th birthday at the end of May. But my wife and I do not judge our tragedy as any more tragic than any other tragedy that a family may have to endure. If you have a spouse that's abusive, or if you have a child that's a drug addict and you just don't know where to turn, it's just as tragic to you as our particular situation. And one of the big lessons that I learned from this experience is when people say they want to help you, take their help. You can't do everything, no matter how smart you may think you are, no matter how much of an ego you have, no matter how many hours in the day you think you can dedicate to the problem. And our neighbors and our church members have been wonderful, particularly when Emily was truly at death's door with 107.3 fever and in intensive care in a hospital in the Woodlands. There was a meal train set up, and I really appreciate what the community did to help us during those real trying times.
What a courageous family.
Well, we don't believe we're courageous. We believe that it's the right thing to do, and what parent would not want their child to be as healthy as possible?
People should know Chuck has won the endorsement of Texas Right to Life, a very highly coveted endorsement, along with the Texas Homeschool Coalition.
That's correct. And I'm extremely pleased with both of those endorsements because I'm a public school product. I'm a substitute teacher in the Conroe ISD, a public school system, and yet, and I haven't homeschooled my kids, but the Homeschool Coalition felt that I was most in tune with their values and with the liberty aspect of being able to educate your child by yourself, within your own family.
And it speaks to your heartfelt views as well, and you've been able to convey that to Right to Life
And
the Homeschool Coalition.
The Right to Life endorsement, I encourage everyone to read what they actually said, because it focused on an aspect of right to life that's not typically focused on. That's right to life at the end of your life. And the Texas Right to Life Coalition actually made reference to my daughter Emily. So Emily is supporting me in this campaign in a way that none of us had actually anticipated, and I was touched and heartened by that endorsement.